Welcome into another live edition of Five on the Floor. I'm your host, Greg Sylvander. Tonight's floor plan with me, Major Passons. We're excited because the Heat won, and we're going to break that down. Before we do that, a couple shout outs. One, Off the Floor, that's our Discord server. The link is in the description of this episode. This is where you consolidate all your social media where you talk about the Heat into one place. Do it all on Off the Floor for the most Heat anywhere, $2.99 a month. Check it out. Link in the description. Like I said, we are providing host updates. We are watching the games on Discord and chatting about it as we watch. It's a fun time. You need to check it out. Also, this episode and basically everything we do here at Five Reasons Sports Network and on Five on the Floor is brought to you by our daily fantasy partner, Prize Picks. Use the code 5. That'll get you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. You'll get $50 instantly in promo funds to play, but you got to use the code 5. The link in the description of this episode will put 5 in the code for you, but otherwise take the code out that's in there and put 5 FIVE right in that code to get the $50 instantly. We appreciate that. And shout out to Prize Picks. Lastly, another shout out to Duvin. They did that collab with Court Culture. They sent me some merch, and I'm going to continue plugging them because it's just been such a delight to have new apparel. Tonight I'm in the Court Culture hoodie because it is a little cold up where I'm at. I'm in the regatta hat, so we'll continue plugging that as much as possible because it is such a quality collection. Now let's get to the game, but first the intro.
Yeah, it's Mercy. Music by Mercy again. Heat Nation, we the culture. Yo, E, I need you to call time out. Need Brady to set the floor plan. Tropical blanket, open for the shot. Yo, Greg, set the pick. Still 5 on the floor, still ride for my dog. Still battle on the court, still survive in the war. Keep your eye on the ball, or get burned from the keep this mic off the wall without turning the cheek. From night to day, no sleepy paths or allowed to mourn us. The nut is sleeping us, never catch us snoring. Live from Miami, report in the heat with 5 Reasons Sports from the court to the streets. Yeah, Wake County, Heat Nation, we say it proudly.
Welcome to Five on the Floor, a daily insider show on the Miami Heat and the NBA, featuring Ethan Skolnick, Greg Sylvander, Alex Toledo, Brady Hawk, and others from the Five Reasons Sports Network. Also, make sure to subscribe to Off the Floor for the most heat anywhere.
Welcome back to another live edition. It's always good when we come to you after a victory. The Heat won a game against a team they should beat, a team that is 8-29 now. The New Orleans Pelicans came to town, and the Heat got the victory, 125-106. The Heat improved to 20-16 on the season. Major Passons joins me. We're going to go through the plays of the night, the player of the game. Y'all know all that fun stuff. This was a weird one in that, Major, we saw Tyler get elevated to active but not available, I think is what happened there. Yeah. And then there was confusion about like if he's just ramping up, I guess is what they said, and it's just part of the process. But at some point, everyone kind of thought he was going to play because of the by virtue of his status. So that was a little weird, but they press on. They get the victory against New Orleans, who has a fun young team, but they're still not there yet. Your thoughts on the victory and just overall kind of this weird, we thought Tyler was back tonight, and then all of a sudden he wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. You don't see that too often. They activate someone from injury, say that they're available, but then be like, they're probably not going to play. Like, what's the point of activating them then? I don't know. Maybe there's like something that actually does matter that I just don't know about. But
that'll be you and me both.
Yeah, I mean, someone pointed out they did it in the finals too. I think it was like game 5 of the finals or in the playoffs. It might not have been the finals, but whenever he was hurt one of the times,
Yeah.
They
Up in
activated him.
Denver.
He ended
I
up
thought that might be strategy, like in the finals, like
Yeah.
they start to prepare for him to be back. But yeah, I hear your point that this is not unprecedented.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen it for any other player. Now it's happened to
Yeah,
him twice.
that's true.
That's crazy. But I don't want to talk too much about the game because it's going to ruin all of our segments. Because there's one player that I think we both really want to talk about, and he's
Yeah.
like a shoe-in for the next segment. So I'll let you jump to that.
Yeah, let's go right to it.
And now it's time for the A Aggressive Insurance Player of the Night, sponsored by our friend Lynette. You can find her at insurancebylynette.com. That's with 2 N's and 2 T's, insurancebylynette.com. If you need car insurance, renter's insurance, homeowner's insurance, or any other type of insurance, she's the person to go to. Based in Lauderhill, she services the entire Tri-County area here in South Florida, and she will make sure to get you the best deal. She'll probably talk to you about the heat while you're at it. Reach out to her, insurancebylynette.com. And now, the player of the game.
So I'd like to nominate Bam Adebayo. No, I'm joking, y'all. Norm Powell. This is how you make an all-star case. Is the Heat climb the standings and get at least in the top 5 by the time the coaches have to submit their votes for the bench, for the reserves, excuse me. And Norm is the best player on a top 5 seed in the East. That's Norm's path. It's an upward hill to climb. Just if you look at the names across the conference and with guys that won't get in via votes. But this is the way Norm will do it. Tonight, 11 of 15, 9 of 12 from 3. He almost joined the 10 3-point made club. That includes Mario Chalmers, among others. Your thoughts on Norm's game? Because he definitely was the player of the night.
Dude, it was insane. At one point was 8 of 9 from 3. It's not like sometimes you see people hit high 3-point numbers and they still shoot really well, like 50% or something, but they get like 23-point attempts. He had 12 and he hit 9 of them. And it's not like all of them were just wide open. He hit some tough buckets. And I do want to shout out that it's kind of unfortunate. He got fouled on 2 threes. So one of them he did make, so it didn't hurt him. But another one he got fouled, which he's, I think, still second in the league in doing that. Another thing of note, he only played 29 minutes. Like, if he played normal minutes, he probably easily hits 10. He might even hit 11 with how he was shooting and confidence. He was just phenomenal. That is exactly what the Heat dreamed of getting him. Some guy that can be a microwave scorer, a consistent scorer. But then one thing that he does really well that I think a lot of people overlook, he knows how to use that to help him get easier looks too, or then, like I mentioned, free throws. He's not only looking just to shoot the whole time, even when he's on fire. He's looking to still get good shots. Even the ones he takes that aren't wide open, very few times are you disappointed in the shot he takes. He's still playing smart basketball, and it's still in the offense. It never feels like he hijacks the offense or anything like that. Norman Powell, been a dream acquisition for the Miami Heat. They got him for Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson, which no disrespect to them, but boy, was that just like a dream scenario.
Yeah, I'm ready to extend Norm Powell. I've seen enough.
Sure.
This is his second highest scoring game of the season, other than up in MSG. I think he got up to 38 in a loss up there, and shot 12 of 22 there. Tonight he's 11 of 15. So pretty comparable performances overall, but tonight it came in a victory. So shout out to Norm for really carrying this group. Also, we're going to use this segment to talk about 2 guys off the bench. Nico has found his groove, and Pele Larson is back in the mix. 16 points tonight, 6 assists, which we're going to save some of that, excuse me, for the play of the night. But your thoughts on the bench, because with Jaime being out, I thought that one thing they were going to have to figure out, and also with Tyler being in this weird situation, was how are they going to get the spark plug from the bench, which has been a primary way that they've found an advantage this season in most games. Your thoughts on the way that Nico has kind of revived his season after hurting his elbow, And then obviously Larson diving right back in and looking great off the bench tonight.
Yeah, I think it was huge that Larson was coming off the bench because they've used Jaquez a lot of times as that guy to bring in energy and kind of change the game, and he's done that phenomenally. But Pelly can bring in a lot of that similar stuff of the energy, the defense, and just that connector where he helps the offense and helps even the defense just flow better. So I thought he did that excellently again. And then Jovic was, especially the first half, was flat out dominant, honestly. He was hitting his shots. He was playing good, confident basketball. And him playing at a confident level not only changes things on a game by game basis, but I wrote about this for the Sports Illustrated on SI. I think it actually makes a very big impact on if Ware is a long-term starter. So I think that's something to think about of if Jovic can continue to contribute, it also changes things for other players in possible rotation.
That's a really good point that I hadn't considered long term, how you make that work and how you divvy up the minutes and stagger Bam and Ware, but play them enough together. Nico fitting that entire component would unlock a lot of that lineup. So that it's good to see him. I was worried with his confidence that this may be a season where it would just be up and down, and it still may be that, but right now he's playing really well. So shout out to him there. We're going to get to the plays of the night because one of them was from Nico, among others, though, because everybody kind of contributed on a good night tonight. The Heat are now 12-2 when they score 125 points. So the moral of that story is score a lot of points and you win games. But here's the other one that I continue to track. Points off turnovers. I'm trying to get to just total turnovers. Bear with me here. I don't have that in front of me, but points off turnovers, 31,
24
for New Orleans. 24 turnovers. Is that what you just said?
For the Pelicans, yeah.
Yes. So they turned 24 turnovers into 31 points. And that is just the recipe for this team. Every time that they win that battle, they're going to be in position to win games. So we continue to see that. There were some sweet plays. Larson showed stuff in his bag that we didn't know he had. Let's talk a little bit about that with the Mobile C-Arm and Staffing X-Ray Play of the Day.
And now it's time for the X-Ray of the Play of the Day, brought to us by our friends over at Mobile C-Arm and Staffing Services. Nelson and his team will bring the X-ray equipment and the staffing to you if you work in a hospital or a medical office. Get a consultation today at c-armandstaffing.com or give them a call at 561-891-9620. Their fleet of trucks at your service. Again, it's Mobile C-Arm and Staffing Services, 561-891-9620. And now, the X-ray of the Play of the Day.
So, Major, if you got any, the floor will be yours. But there was one where Larson was driving in the lane and he threw this pass to where he threaded the needle and got it to him. It was about with 2.5 minutes left in the game. And it was, I know by then it was kind of garbage time, but it was beautiful. So I didn't know Larson had that in his bag. 6 assists tonight. That was beautiful. Any plays that jump out to you?
No, I'm just going to go with Powell's threes and is once again getting fouled on a three. That helps settle the team down even too. So I think those just can't be understated, especially the importance to the offense of actually hitting shots and hitting outside shots really opens up everything else.
And another important thing to think about when you look at Norm Powell, who's really carrying this team offensively. This is via Hoop Central on Twitter. Over his last 6 games, 27 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.5 steals, 53% from the field. That's all-star level production.
Yes.
Let's hope that he continues to do that. We continue to see them beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. They now are going on the road. We're going to see what that looks like because even games that you expect to win on the road, not always, they don't always go that way. But there's winnable games amongst the schedule. We'll see if they get them. Shout out to all of our live viewers. We will have this on the podcast feed as well. Major, any final thoughts before we wrap?
No, just basically what you're saying, Norman Powell for All-Star. We got to do our part too and make sure we're making some noise for that.
Yeah, he deserves a bid, a consideration, and I think the coaches will give him a really strong look if the Heat are not in the play-in when they need to submit their vote. So that I think is the thing that we need to make sure coincides with Norm continuing to light it up as he plays for an extension. And for some reason, Tyler Hero, who's also playing for an extension, is not playing, but was available, but was not going to play. Part of the plan, we think. We don't know. Have a good night.